Hey everybody, it's Doc. Welcome to the channel. So today, we had kind of a surprise last night. Got a little bit of snow, and we really weren't expecting it. Let me turn the camera on, I'll show you something. So we have been having just a wonderful February where we've had temperatures up in the 60s, and it's been great. And look at this dog having a great time in the snow. Are you eating the snow, little dog? All right, and there's the big dog. They're both about the same size, but we call one big, one little. And what we are doing today is something I've been wanting to show you, but we really didn't have the snowfall to do it. I wanted to show you my HeatTrak mats, which today will probably be a perfect day. HeatTrak, you see back here, I've got this little cubby that when it's windy, this really fills up with snow. And it's gotten to the point where I just don't care to shovel it anymore because literally we can have 2.5 feet of snow pile up back here, maybe even more, and it's just no fun. And there's really no way to get a snowblower in there and stuff. So what I've done is I've bought these HeatTrak mats, and these are the bigger ones. These are, I think, 30 by 60, and I'll put a link in the description for you if you want to buy them. They should be available on Amazon. If not, I'll give you links to wherever else they're available at. And as I recall, I paid probably a couple $100 a piece for them. And I thought that, you know, we've had these for 3 years. I've had really, really good experiences with them, but there's some nuances to using them and understanding them. So the thing that you need to know first off is the big mats like these, they draw about 5 amps a piece, and an average 110 outlet can put out somewhere about 15 amps. So if you see my cables here, I've only got 3 that I can run at a time, and or I run another extension cord from another outlet somewhere. So they work really well. The nuances to them is you can't wait until a bunch of snow piles up on them to use them because they just don't work that well. They're best if you turn them on right when it starts snowing, or about this point where we're at, where there's, you know, less than half an inch on them, and they will melt approximately 2 inches an hour. Now, there is a cost to them. So the website says that if you left these plugged in all day, it's about $1 per day per mat to run them. So this is not inexpensive if you take into account that I've got 6 mats here, and then I'll show you more they have in back. So this is $6 a day here, which I think is pretty pricey. And I didn't know that when I first bought these. And buddy, our first electric bill was pretty outstanding. Let's put it that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug these in. They're pretty awesome. So I'm not going to make you. I'll just plug them in with off camera. The dogs are going to be helpful, and they're going to help me show you the mats out back here, and I'll kind of describe why I'm doing what I'm doing back here. So what we've got back here, and you can see the mats uncovered, is these mats line up alongside the house, and you know, we've had problems with, if we get a bunch of snow piled up against the house and then it starts melting, well, then we get potentially water coming in the side of the house, which is totally not cool. And then what I've done here is I've got a line of mats that goes out to, you know, basically it makes a path so water can run out and off the porch, because this porch does have a little bit of a slope to it. And you may be asking, well, what's with all the weights on the mats? It gets super windy here, and if I don't put weights on the mats, they blow all over the place. Now, that said, HeatTrak does have a bit of a warning in the respect that if you put too much weight on the mat, it's possible the electronics could overheat and you could melt the mat and have electrical issues. So I'm really careful about checking these to make sure that there's no issues. I have not had any problems even with this amount of weight on them. And you know, the other question is, well, are they safe for pets? Like little Miss Xena here. Hey, Xena, come here. Come here. And you know, some people probably want to put them into a kennel that a dog can lay on. I'd be worried the dog would chew it up. I know my dogs would chew it up. But HeatTrak says that They are safe for smaller dogs. Again, they have that warning that larger dogs potentially could put enough weight on it that the electronics would overheat. And like I said, my dogs, I guarantee if I left one of these mats out in the big kennel with them, it would probably be shredded in a matter of hours, because that's just fun to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in these mats, come back in a few hours, and I'll show you how well it works. This is the area where these mats really shine, and that's because we don't get any afternoon sun on this side of the house. So what would happen is this snow would not melt, or it'd melt down into thick ice and generally become a big pain in the butt. So the mats really help here, and even the fact that they're black does help to some degree. There are 3 mats that the snow is melted on. That's because, as I mentioned before, I can only plug 3 into one outlet because these run about 5 amps each, whereas the smaller mats in back run about 2.5 amps each, so I can run 5 of those in a line to a 110. Some of you may think, well, you know, at a couple of $100 a piece, this is a pretty expensive way to fix an issue where you're just shoveling a little bit of snow. But for me, it's worth it because I've done it for so many years, and now I'm just getting tired of it because sometimes we'll get, you know, that big amount of snow back here. But I wanted to share these with you. These, I think, are a pretty good investment. The website says that the lifespan of these is about 5 years. I take really good care of them in the respect of when spring comes around, I lay them all flat on a pallet. I put them back in the big shop back there, and they spend the summer out of the sun and protected in the shed. So I expect to get hopefully maybe even 8 to 10 years out of these. We'll see. But I wanted to share that with you. So if you guys like these, certainly I'll put the link down in the description. We are an Amazon affiliates. If you buy them and you click the link, we'll get a little bit of a kickback, and it doesn't cost you a thing. That helps us keep doing these kind of videos that we like to do. On this blustery, cold, kind of gnarly day in Iowa, you guys have a great day. We'll see you out there.